The skittering grew louder, a cacophony of clicking mandibles and scraping claws. The violet light of the egg cast long, dancing shadows that made the darkness seem alive. "Kaelen," Silas whispered, his voice strained. "You can't fight them all and suppress the void chill." I know. Kaelen's voice was a low growl against my ear. His arm remained an iron band around me. "I can fight," I said, reaching for the daggers in my boot. "No," Kaelen commanded, the sound vibrating straight to my core. "You stay between us. You have the resonance." "The what?" "The egg didn't kill us because it likes you, Elara," Silas explained, his hand finding mine in the dark. His fingers were long and calloused, their touch surprisingly gentle as they laced with mine. "You're a catalyst. Use it." Before I could ask how, the first stalker emerged from the shadows. Kaelen released me, surging to his feet. He clapped his hands together and a whip of orange flame lashed out, striking the creature. It shrieked, but 3 more poured out of the darkness, then 6. "Silas' shield," Kaelen roared, unleashing a torrent of fire. Silas gritted his teeth, raising a hand. A translucent green barrier shimmered into existence around us, but it flickered. He was too weak. I looked at the egg, pulsing wildly now, matching my frantic heartbeat. Resonance. Something inside me, a barrier I hadn't known was there, crumbled. I crawled towards the egg. "Elara, don't touch it directly," Silas yelled. I ignored him. I placed both hands on the searing leather of the satchel. A cold so profound it burned rushed up my arms, into my chest, and then out. I screamed, not in pain, but of power. A shockwave of violet energy erupted from me. It passed through Silas's shield, through Kaelen, and slammed into the swarm of stalkers. They didn't burn. They simply stopped, frozen in time, encased in violet crystal. Silence slammed back into the cavern. I slumped forward, gasping, and strong hands caught me. "Kaelen," he pulled me up, turning me to face him. His eyes were wide, pupils blown black with adrenaline and awe. "You're a void witch," he breathed, his voice raw. He looked as if he was unsure whether to kiss me or arrest me. I didn't know," I trembled. "That explains the attraction," Silas murmured from the floor, a wry smile on his pale lips. "Void calls to fire and to earth." Kaelen ignored him, his focus entirely on me. The air was thick, charged with residual magic and the terrifying closeness of death. He cupped my face, his rough, warm hands sending a jolt through my entire body. "You saved us." "We're not out yet," I whispered, my gaze dropping to his lips. He leaned in, his forehead resting against mine. The heat from him was dizzying. "No, but now we know what you are, and I'm not letting anyone else have you, not the guild, not the king." "Possessive," I breathed, my heart hammering against my ribs. "Protective," Silas corrected. He had dragged himself closer, leaning his head against Kaelen's thigh, looking up at me with eyes that promised trouble. "We come as a set, darling. You bind the void, Kaelen brings the fire, and I provide the strategy." My breath caught. Kaelen's thumb stroked my cheekbone, a slow, deliberate caress that felt like a brand. I wanted to lean into him, to taste the fire that rolled off him in waves. But then the ground shook. A massive shadow fell over us from the far end of the tunnel. A figure in the sleek, silver armor of the Royal Inquisition stepped into the light. "Well, well," a cold, metallic voice echoed. "The thief, the traitor, and the cripple, and you found the battery for my doomsday machine." Kaelen spun, shielding me and Silas, his sword finally sliding from its sheath with a ring of steel. "Inquisitor Vane," Kaelen snarled. "Hand over the girl and the egg," Vane said, raising a gauntlet that hummed with dark necromancy, "or I bury you all in this tomb forever."
Want to keep the flame ignited without having to wait for the next part? You can find the full, tantalizing tale on our main page. See the link in the description.